everyone. I'm Kelly Shippey, and this is where I grew up. Welcome to Gately Farm. My mom raises Connemara ponies. They're an Irish breed from the west coast of Ireland. And we grew up on the farm, raising the horses, brushing, cleaning the stalls, riding them, exercising them, and showing them. And my mom is a judge and an international inspector for the horses. And so she got to travel to Ireland almost every year and sometimes twice a year. And I got to go along on some of them. And the recipe that I'm going to make today is one that was inspired from one that I had in Ireland. And that is a twice baked aubergine, which in America is also known as an eggplant. Okay, so let's get our eggplant ready. Now we're gonna just take a little bit off the top because we're gonna use them like a little boat. And you just want to make your initial cut and slice straight down. And then it makes a cute little boat. And last one. There we go. All right, now that you have the little window, you want to go around that area with a little paring knife, making sure not to go all the way through the skin because you need that skin to hold up so that when you take out the center and stuff it back in, that it's not going to ooze out the sides. All right, so this one's ready. Now also score straight across because the eggplant fibers run vertically up and down, and this just makes it easier to scoop it out once it's been roasted. So when I was in Ireland and I had the eggplant dish, it was just a roasted eggplant with a delicious sauce over the top and a little bit of spice, which is good for me. I like it a little bit spicy. It was a little sweet. All right, and I'm going to score this last one across the center. There we go. Now I'm just going to take a little bit of tin foil because I'm going to leave the cute little green top. And we don't want that to burn when we roast these. All right, drizzle a little olive oil over the top of them. Good. This little guy doesn't want to stand up very well. All right. And then we're going to add a little of Paula's House seasoning, salt, pepper, and garlic powder. Oh, come on, little guy, stand up. I'm going to put him in the middle so the other guys will help hold him up. And then the last thing is a little bit of chili powder. All right, then everybody goes into the oven, 450 degrees, for about 20 to 25 minutes until everything is nice and tender. They are smoking hot. And we're just going to take each one and scoop out the insides. Remember how we scored them so that they would be easy to pull out of here? I'm just using a spoon, and everybody goes into the bowl. Now, I loved traveling to Ireland. The people in Ireland are so friendly, so nice. They talk really fast though, so they're a little hard to understand sometimes. But they were always so nice. Although, you know, the horse end of it was the work part. But my favorite part about traveling through Ireland was the history. They have castles everywhere. There's ruined castles down every road, everywhere you go. And I am a total history geek. So I get really excited when I'm in a place that has a rich old history and I can walk around through the same places that other people have walked, but hundreds of years ago, They've got 300-year-old castles, 400-year-old castles, and we got to go through them and see how they lived back then and how they defended their castles and how they used the restroom, which was totally different. Let me just tell you that right now. But that's what excites me. I geek out over history, especially traveling to historical places. My favorite thing to do. All right, I'm on my last one now. And this is such a simple recipe. You're gonna love it. We have the insides of all of our eggplants right here. And now to this, we're just gonna add our Philadelphia cream cheese. They take about an ounce each. So about 4 ounces goes right in. And that warm eggplant is gonna help melt the cream cheese, which it's at room temperature already, but believe me, they're hot enough that they're gonna melt it no problem. So everything just gets mixed together, and then they go right back in their skins. There we go. It was that easy. There's my stuffing. And the twice baked part is coming up after we refill these little skins here. Each one gets a little bit. And I'm filming myself today, sorry, or I would pick it up and show you what each and every one of these looks like. They're very cute. I'll show you when I'm done stuffing. Here we go. All right, let me show you now. Here's our little eggplants. Ta-da! And you can see the stuffing in there. Now all we're gonna do is add a little bit of store-bought Italian breadcrumbs to the top of each one. You want a nice good coating on there. And don't worry if it looks a little dry, because we're gonna add a little pat of butter on top to help melt it. Because we don't want dry breadcrumbs. But it adds a lot of flavor and it gives it a little crispy top that's just delicious. All right. And a little pat of butter for each one. Just a little now, you don't need a lot, you just want to melt the breadcrumbs. And back into the oven. And it's still on 450 degrees. And it'll go in for just 5 minutes, and then it'll be ready to eat. And smell so good. Take this one, take his little hat off. And I'm just going to chop up a little bit of chive for the top. There we go, that'll do. Put some chives right on there. Look at that, look at that. I don't know if you can see. I'm kind of far away today, so let me scooch closer. Can you see how delicious that looks? That's a little stuffed eggplant. Chives on top. Now I get to taste it. Very excited about that part. Delicious. Creamy, simple, wonderful. As the Irish would say, sláinte.